Hey everyone, welcome to the well, for those who are watching this later on, welcome to the replay. For those who are live with me, what is going on? Hello everyone. Hi. Hello. Who's in here? We have Lisa. Hey Lisa. Lanaya. Hey Lanaya. We have Shay, Andrea, Natalia, Lizzie. What is going on? What is happening? Hi from Sudan. Hey, thank you for staying up. I can only imagine like what time it is right now in Sudan. Hey, girlfriend, what is going on? Where is everyone from? Where are you guys at? We have Florida, we have South Carolina, we got Massachusetts, we have who else is in here? Wow, Uganda. Well, Africa's in the house tonight. I love that. I love that. Miami. Hey, Miami. What is going on? South Carolina, California, LA, Arkansas, Ohio, Louisiana. Hey, Philly. Brooklyn, Tennessee, Texas. Hey, Jersey. What is going on? Hey, ATL, Canada, Las Vegas. I might be in actually I might be in Las Vegas in the summertime. There's a conference going on, like a beauty industry conference at the Mandalay Bay, I think, somewhere over there. So I might be in Vegas, Boston, South Africa, Georgia, Jersey. Did you cut your hair? I did. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was just playing around with my little shears, and I was like, we just gonna do a little cuckoo do 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 do. I did it myself, which I probably need to have someone like make it a little bit more better. I need a protein treatment. I'm going into like 2 weeks of like my wash day, so I am due for a wash day. So this is like a recycled braid out going on here, like, but we here. We are here. But yes, it's a mixture of me like slightly cutting it, like a little. I think I did about an inch, and it's also shrinkage too. So there's that. But anyway, for those who are here, this is your very first time joining me. Welcome to a Curly Chemistry Lab. I'm so glad you are here. For if this is like your very, very first time, welcome. I'm so happy that you are joining me tonight. Thank you, Jasmine. How we pretty much run this whole live show, you guys ask me questions and I answer them. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. And I love it because it allows me to engage with you all and just answer your questions and connect with you in a sense. So any questions, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let's see. I saw a few uptight, up top. Let's see. All right, hold on. Where's the question? Okay. The first question was like the very, very first question was how can thinning hair post-menopausal be revived? So thinning hair post-menopausal. So I'll say this, I would definitely look into like how to balance your hormones. There's like different ways to do it. I would start with, well, first of all, connecting with your doctor to see, where your estrogen levels are at. And then from there, I would see what options that they have for you. A lot of women I talk to go the natural route of, hormonal balancing, and that can be like chastity tree berry, dong quai, which is like a supplement that helps to balance the hormones. So that's the first thing I would do, is look at how you can balance your hormones. The second thing I would do, and I tell anyone this who's like over 40, is to get on a saw palmetto supplement or a pumpkin seed oil supplement, because a lot of times when it comes to like hormonal hair loss that's tied to menopause, it's like you have a lot of, how can I say it? You run the risk of having DHT, which is a hormone. It's kind of like a hair loss hormone within the scalp, within the body. So to kind of combat that, you want to get on either a pumpkin seed oil supplement or a saw palmetto supplement to decrease and reduce that hormone. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say. Third thing I would say is just make sure that you are giving your body what it needs, making sure that you will have at least some level of an anti-inflammatory diet. You're getting your omega-3s in, your fatty, like your fatty fish oils or omega-3 oils, for example. I'll be very mindful of how you style your hair. No crazy tension, no tight styles, very, very low maintenance styles, because as we age, our hair follicles do get a little bit more on the tender side. So you want to be very careful with your style. So that's what I would recommend. Great question. Blissful says, good evening. I deal with seborrheic dermatitis and oils, so no good. I want to try scalp serum for moisture. What's your take on them? And do you recommend any specific scalp serums? Yes. So the scalp serum I recommend pretty often is the Pacifica Scalp Love Serum. You can find it at Ulta. Sephora sells it as well. No, not Sephora, but Ulta definitely sells it. The Pacifica Scalp Love Serum. Pattern Beauty Scalp Serum is also really good. The Ordinary sells a really good scalp serum too. So those are like the top 3 brands I would recommend for like water-based scalp serums. Great question. Oh, y'all are not wasting no time with these questions. Okay, let's see. Next question is, I know we focus on scalp care, but can we hone in on eyebrow and eyelash hair, please? What can we use that won't cause mellitus or eye skin irritant? Ooh, that's a good question, girl. That's kind of out of my wheelhouse, to be honest. One thing you'll learn about me is that I stay in my lane, boo. But let's look. Let's just see. Let's see what's out here on these interwebs, because now I'm curious. I don't know if that's the right name for it, because I'm trying to. I'm not seeing anything on that word, the mellitus, unless it's spelled wrong. But if you want to, I would say retype your question, because for some reason I'm trying to look up what you just put, but I'm not seeing anything on that. But yeah, just kind of make sure that what you put is spelled right, because I'm not seeing anything on that. Okay, next question. Glycolic acid for scalp treatment, how to use and frequency. I need your thoughts. Absolutely. So The Ordinary has a glycolic acid scalp treatment that's actually really good. And I think I forget what the solution is. I think it's like a 2% or 3% solution. Oh no, excuse me, it's a 7% solution. So that one is really good for like exfoliating the surface of the scalp. So you have your epidermis, which is like the top layer of your scalp, right? The visible layer of your scalp where you can see your pores and where the hair comes out of, right? But a lot of times build up, for example, dead skin cells, especially if you have like pH off balance in your scalp, that can affect hair growth, that can affect how your scalp feels. So doing a glycolic acid serum, not only is it very exfoliating, like it's going to help to remove built up dead skin cells off of the scalp, but it's also very hydrating as well. Okay. So that I would definitely recommend. And you can do that maybe like maybe twice a month, maybe 2-3 times a month. I wouldn't recommend doing it every single day or a few times a week, but definitely maybe 2 or 3 times a month would be great. And adjusting it based off of your hair needs. So great question. I might need to do one of those. I haven't done a glycolic acid treatment on my scalp in a very long time, so I might need to do that as well. I heard ACV can't remove a lot of product buildup, then clarifying shampoo does. Oh, that clarifying shampoo does. So basically you're asking is, you heard that ACV, apple cider vinegar rinses, can't remove a lot of product buildup compared to clarifying shampoos. That's a great question. And honestly, it depends on the amount of buildup. So if someone has like a ton of buildup, then yeah, they may want to go ahead and grab a clarifying shampoo that has actual cleansing surfactants within it. But if you just have like low to mild buildup, ACV rinses are great. I really highly recommend ACV rinses as a clarifying treatment, but really for the scalp. Like if someone deals with dry scalp or even dandruff, for example, ACV is a great option because number one, it's going to help to kill off that yeast malacia that causes dandruff. And it's going to bring the scalp to a more healthier pH, a healthier scalp microbiome. So ACV is great for the hair, like removing buildup, but it's, in my opinion, I think it's amazing for the scalp. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Great question. All right, let's see. Take a look at the Amla Hydro Rush Intense Moisture Shampoo and Amica Hydro Rush Intense Moisture Conditioner ingredients. Give me, yes. Hey, Janice. So I'm already familiar with the formula. Both of those are great formulations, especially if you deal with dry hair or like breakage, for example. The Amica, that line is really good. They have a lot of hydrating ingredients within their within the formula, and they have a lot of great cationic conditioning surfactants for slip and softening the hair and conditioning the hair. So those two I definitely recommend for sure. Great question. I need to thicken my eyelashes and eyebrow hair. I don't want to tint them. You don't want to tint them. So here's the thing when it comes to eyelashes and eyebrow hair. I mean, for the most part, they're very similar to our hair and our scalp. But I will say this, I've seen a lot of women like thicken their eye, like grow their eyelashes and thicken their eyebrows via castor oil. So that is an option. The brand Restore, they make the whole like red light therapy helmet. They just came out with like a serum for the eyebrows. I don't know if it's for the eyelashes. It might be. I don't know. But check out that brand, Restore eyebrow serum, and they have peptides within the formulation. So castor oil alone is great for supporting hair growth. However, okay, if you can get your hands on some peptides like acetyl tetrapeptide, for example, if you see tripeptides in the ingredient list, that's a good sign because they help to reactivate dormant follicles. And I want to say they help to upregulate the growth factors within like the follicle, within this, well, in this case, we're not talking about the scalp, we're talking about, I guess, the follicle of the eyebrow and the eyelashes, you know, to reactivate hair growth and to keep the hair in the anagen cycle, which is the active hair growth cycle. So sis, you have two options. Go the natural castor oil route or check out like brands like Restore that actually are creating formulas designed to grow the eyebrows and the eyelashes. Great question. All right, let's see. And I think that answered your question maybe about the mellitus. I'm probably butchering it right now. But definitely check those two options out. All right, next question. Ooh, where are we? Here we go. Hey, Lizzie. Lizzie says, hi, Tanya. What was the color lipstick you're wearing by Anastasia Beverly Hills? Was it pink nude? Great question. So if it's this one that you're referring to, Lizzie, it's the peach amber. Peach amber, but wait a minute, I got it right here. It's the peach amber. This one here by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's like a peachy nude. I feel like a makeup influencer right now. It's like a peachy nude like color. I love it. But here's the thing, I pair it with a lip liner. And the lip liner is by Morphe. It's the what lip liner is this? Other Half. It's called Other Half. Now I really feel like a makeup influencer. When I do like this, you know, when I do like that. When they be like, this is the color right here, guys. And it's like a brownish color. It's like a chestnut coconut brown color. It's like a chocolate color. And it's like the best thing ever. And it just totally just glides on the lips. And we just love it. No, but seriously, this is why I can't be a makeup influencer. But yes, Morphe, Other Half is the name of the color. And I just line my lips and I fill it in with the peach amber. And it's so good, girl. It's definitely a staple of mine. Great question. All right, Valerie says, hey, girlfriend, is hair grease good to put on your scalp? Hair grease. I feel like this is such a big topic recently. I need to like make more content around hair grease because the girls are like, what is going on? Can we use it? Can we not? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it going to make my hair fall out? Here's the thing about hair grease, honey. Hair grease is amazing. Okay, now here's the thing. You can use it on the scalp, especially if you deal with like a dry scalp. However, how you use it matters. If you have Seborrheic dermatitis, don't touch it. If you have dandruff, run. But if you have a healthy scalp, right, and it's like, just get kind of dry, a little itchy sometimes, that's it, you can use hair grease. But here's the thing, here's the caveat. I like that word, caveat. You don't want to put hair grease on a dirty scalp. You don't want to do that. You don't want to put hair grease on a scalp that has like a lot of buildup on it, product buildup, sweat, oil, dirt. You don't want that, because now you're causing issues, because now you're kind of creating an additional layer that your scalp underneath doesn't need. And it's going to kind of, and honestly, that's when you run into issues with even more dryness and disrupting your hair growth cycle. So as long as you are putting hair grease on a clean scalp, you know what I'm saying? You're good. But when you got caked up, build up, it's not going to work. It's not going to be effective. And people end up blaming hair grease when it's not even the hair grease. It's the blame. It's the fact that people are using it incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my spiel. And the same thing with hair grease on the hair, right? You don't put hair grease on dry hair. Hair grease is a sealant, right? You guys know, Curly Chemistry 101, our hair, moisturizing our hair is usually a 2 or 3-step process. LOC, or in this case, LOG, liquid oil grease, or cream oil / cream grease. So you have to have that water-based product first. You have to have a hydrating layer first on the hair, and then hair grease, or then an oil or a butter, so that's kind of how you have to use it the right way. But long story short, I'm getting off my soap, not my soap opera. What is it called? My soapbox. Getting off of my soapbox now, but that's how you would use hair grease. So I do recommend it for the scalp. Absolutely. Great question. All right, let's see. Where were we, gang? Where were we? Can't wait for my meeting with you, Miss Lynn. I can't wait to chat with you too, sis. I can't wait. I'm excited. And for those who have been signing up for one-on-one hair care coaching with me, thank you so much. I'm going to have to add more dates to my calendar, because February is booked and March is almost completely booked. So I'm going to have to add more dates. So stay tuned for that. But for those who have been signing up for consultations with me, I'm so excited to meet you. Thank you so much. Super excited to help you with your hair care journey. Okay, next question is, what's the best clarifying shampoo to help detox your hair / scalp? The best clarifying shampoo to help detox your hair and your scalp, definitely organic root stimulator, aloe shampoo, or ORS aloe shampoo. For your scalp, I'm going to go back to ACV for sure. Excuse me. And then another good one I like is the what's it called? Oh, the K18 peptide prep shampoo. That one's really good too. So those 3 are like my top 3 right now. But of course, there's so many others out there too. So best way to moisturize your hair under a wig / wig cap. The best way to moisturize your hair when you're wearing wigs is to take it off at night and to moisturize and seal your head before you go to bed. Because when I was in my protective style mode, which I actually might get back into, when I was wearing my glueless lace front turn headband wigs, I would only wear it when I'm like making videos or when I'm going out or whatever. But once I got home that evening, especially if it's my moisture, like my moisture cycle day, I take the wig off, unravel my hair, and I moisturize and seal my hair. And then I twist my hair back up and then put my little silk or satin scarf on and go to bed. And then the next morning, put my wig back on, so you can definitely utilize wigs and glueless lace front wigs. Just make sure that you are, you're tending to your hair at the end of the day, or at least every other day, so your hair doesn't dry out under that wig, but that's what I did. All right, hey, blessed to have Ada. She says, your thoughts on Dawn for clarifying shampoo? Yes, dishwashing liquid. Okay, and it's so funny you say that, because I know at one point women were actually washing their hair with Dawn dish soap. I don't recommend it. It's too harsh for our hair. It's too harsh. for our hair. And I think what people don't realize is that, yes, it's a cleanser. Absolutely. Dawn dish soap is designed to, remove oil and dirt and grease and grime. Absolutely. That's the science of these amazing, powerful surfactants in the formulation. However, keyword on the powerful. Okay, so you don't want that on your hair or your scalp. Your hair is going to dry out, especially with consistent use. Your scalp is going to dry out. You're going to disrupt your scalp barrier. And once your scalp barrier is disrupted, now your scalp doesn't maintain moisture very well. And then over time that can lead to irritation, inflammation, and the disruption of the hair growth cycle. So long story short, sis, I don't recommend it. There's so many other amazing options out here on the market that you don't have to turn to Dawn dish soap. Thank the Lord, thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Great question. Clarifying shampoo versus neutralizing shampoo. Yeah, great question. So clarifying shampoo and neutralizing shampoos, in a sense, they kind of behave the same, like designed to remove oil, dirt, oil, dirt, and build up off the scalp and the hair. But the neutralizing shampoo, a lot of times the pH of that formula is pretty low, because a lot of times when you are using a neutralizing shampoo, it's after what? Getting a relaxer, right? Because the relaxer usually is a pH around like 12, 11, 12, very, very alkaline, very, very high for our hair. Our hair cannot survive at that high of a pH. So neutralizing shampoos have a very, very low pH to bring our hair back down to a more healthy pH balance level in our scalp as well. So that's the biggest difference. Neutralizing shampoos can be a little bit more lower in the pH range versus clarifying shampoos. Great question. What's a good moisturizing cream for winter low porosity hair? Donna's Recipe Extra Creamy Hair Cream, Curls, Blueberry Bliss, leave-in conditioner, and I really like the Apogee Shea Pro leave-in conditioner. Those three are really, really good. Are your tips good for sister locks? Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I would say about locks and sister locks is that, of course, you want to be careful of not using any creams on your locks, because that's going to create a lot of buildup in your locks. I would definitely focus on scalp care for sure. I would focus on scalp serums so your scalp doesn't become dry. I would focus on liquid hydration, so liquid leave-in conditioners, water, aloe vera juice as like your main hydrator for your locks, and then using a lightweight oil. This can be grapeseed, sweet almond, sealing that moisture into your hair. So liquid hydrator first, and then seal with the oil on your locks. I would definitely do that. And when you are styling your locks, make sure you're not causing any trauma to your scalp. I've seen so many women, unfortunately, even like past clients of mine and current clients too, where they lose like a lot of their hair in the crown and also like in their in the edges as well, because sometimes they get excited with the locks, they be doing all these tight styles and like the retwisting and the pulling up, and they're losing their hair via traction alopecia. So be careful with how you style your hair. That would be like my little, warning in that case. But as far as like the tips I provide here are also great for sister locks as well. Great question. Does your shampoo schedule change during the winter? Do you use any different cleansers, shampoos, conditioners, cleansers, and colder weather? Great question. I just posted a post on Instagram. For those who don't know, I have an Instagram, curly.chemistry. If you are on Instagram, I just made a post on like winter hair care for textured hair. So does my shampoo schedule change during the winter? No, because the whole entire year, I wash my hair once a week. That's just what I do. Even though right now I'm going into week 2 because I've had a really busy week this past week, usually it's on a weekly basis. So for me, that doesn't change. The only thing I would say that does change, and I do recommend, is deep conditioning more often. So if I only deep condition my hair once a month during the year, in the winter time, I may increase that to 2 or 3 times a month. So instead of once a month DC, I'll do 2 to 3 times a month DC, because that extra hydration, the extra nutrients from hair mask will help my hair to be stronger and more hydrated in those dry winter months. So that's what I would say I do. So shampoo doesn't change for me, but definitely I do more masks. For sure. Great question. Hey, Tanya, I wanted to know your thoughts on Design Essentials 6-in-1 Reconstructor. I'm trying to replace Apogee 2-step. It burns my scalp. Okay, let's see. 6-in-1 conditioner. Let's look at it, gang. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see the formula. Is it even here? I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking for the formula, sis. I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? Let me go to another website. Because if I don't see the formula, then I can't really give you my feedback on it. And when I say the formula, like the ingredient list, but let's see. Okay, here we go. I found it. All right, so what is it supposed to be again? A reconstructive conditioner that strengthens and restores chemically treated hair. Okay. So with that being said, I'm looking for protein. I'm looking for ingredients that support that claim. So far, they have hydrolyzed milk protein. That looks like the main strengthening ingredient in this formula, but everything else is very like conditioning, which is also good too. You know, they have polyquat 7, which is like it's a polymer, but it's a conditioning polymer. It gives you great slip and softness. There's benzimonium chloride in here, which is the fifth or sixth ingredient. Gives you great softness. It smooths the cuticle. Let's see. There's a little bit of like a silicone derivative in here for slip. So to me, this could potentially be a protein type product because it does have that hydrolyzed milk protein. And the key word here is hydrolyzed. So I always tell everyone that when you're looking for a protein treatment, look for things that either say hydrolyzed or something peptide, you know, or amino acids, because unfortunately not all proteins behave the same. But when you look for peptides, amino acids, hydrolyzed, that means that type of protein is small enough to penetrate past the cuticle, right? So you know you have the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. Those are the 3 layers of our hair. The cuticle is the visible layer. So what you're looking at here, when you go to the mirror, you see the cuticle, right? And then when you past the cuticle, the non-visible part, the cortex, that's really where a lot of the strength and the protein and the peptides and the bonds, you know, play a role in our hair, right? That's really like the central nervous system of the hair. So you want those ingredients like amino acids, peptides, and hydrolyzed ingredients to get to that part of the hair, okay? So to answer your question, sis, they do have that ingredient, that hydrolyzed milk protein. So I would consider that a protein treatment. So if the Apogee is not working for you, like it burns your scalp, then I would definitely switch to that for sure. Or, you know, there's also K18, there's Olaplex as well. And as far as like the Apogee 2-step burning your scalp, I would say if you try it again, I would say apply the treatment from here down. Try to avoid getting the Apogee 2-step on the scalp, because I know what you're talking about, because sometimes that can happen. So what you can do is just start the product here and then work your way down, just so it doesn't come into contact with your scalp. Great question. Great question. Great question. You guys have a lot of great questions tonight, as always. As always. Okay, let's see. What lifestyle changes do you do during your big chop for accelerated growth? Lifestyle changes for accelerated growth. Okay, so if I was in your position and I'm thinking about what are some lifestyle changes I can do for accelerated growth, and this may be extreme for some folk, and some of my girlfriends already know what I'm going to say, but I would take out sugar from my diet. A lot of times sugar can lead to chronic inflammation in the body, especially the scalp. So I'm going, oh, and thank you guys for liking this video. I keep forgetting. If you guys are enjoying this live so far, Please be sure to like this video. I appreciate all of y'all's support. So thank you. Sugar leads to chronic inflammation a lot of times in the body, and that can disrupt the hair growth cycle. So I would take out sugar from my diet. I would totally go for more of an anti-inflammatory diet for sure. I would get on a good omega-3 supplement. I would start taking a good B complex. I would start getting blood work done, checking my iron levels, my vitamin D levels. I would start drinking more water. I would also incorporate scalp massages to reduce stress as well, because stress is like the hidden culprit, especially for us women in our community, men too. You know, we can't forget about the guys, because guys go through a lot of stress as well. Stress is a hidden culprit for hair loss as well. So I would try to think about practices, things that I can do that can help minimize stress. Once again, we're talking lifestyle changes here, right? And then I would also be mindful of my styles, because you just did the big chop. You just did the big chop. So you want to be mindful of your the tension of your scalp, that whatever styles you're choosing are low maintenance styles, you know. So long story short, that's what I would do if I was trying to accelerate growth. And I would give myself time. Like, hair growth takes time. Hair growth is a biological process, right? It's not something that happens, you know, like that. And I think that's where a lot of people get frustrated on their hair care journeys, you know, because they're like, I'm trying this and it's not working. It could be several reasons why it's not working, but a lot of times you just got to be a little more patient with your hair. But you will see the results. You will see the results. All right, let's see. Next question. Oh, and huge question. The answer might be genetics. My brother grows his hair fast with way more manipulation and manicuring than me. And he noticed not only is my hair more fine, but my hair thins. Okay, so your brother's hair grows faster with way more manipulation than you, and your hair is more on the fine side and your hair thins. So okay, so I'll say this: genetics plays a huge role for sure. Just because you know, your sibling has XYZ hair doesn't always mean it's going to happen with you, you know. So that's just the nature of, you know, the beauty of biology. But I will say this: men, I gotta confirm this, but I believe men have a faster anagen phase than women do. Because, you know, guys, they shave their beards off, and next thing you know, they got a whole, you know, Wolfman like Wolfman thing going on in like 2 weeks. So their hair grows a lot faster than ours. Like, what? You know, so I also think it's just the makeup of just men too. Like, I feel like their anagen cycles are a little bit more sped up than ours. I need to do some research on that, because I have men as like in my audience, but not as much as, you know, women. But there is so much science behind that as well that I haven't even tapped into, like men's hair care. That's a whole other topic as well. But I do think men, like, their hair grows a lot faster than ours for sure. So to answer your question, it definitely is biology, and it definitely is genetics as well. There's nothing wrong with your hair, sis. You're good. You're absolutely fine. Glycolic acid on the scalp. We just talked about that, sis. That's a great exfoliant, very moisturizing. Please recommend a deep conditioner for high porosity, and do you use K18 with it? So if you're using, okay, a good deep conditioner for high porosity hair, Shea Moisture Manuka Honey Mask is really good. The Amika Soul Food hair mask is also really good. Design Essentials, I think it's like almond butter conditioner or hair mask or something. That one's really good too. Just name a few. I don't want to overwhelm you, like, but that's the top 3 I like right now. And do you use K18 with it? K18, excuse me, would be a separate process. So if you are going to do like a K18 leave-in repair mask, because it is a leave-in, you can pair it. Like, you can like have like your shampoo, deep conditioner, and then K18 if your hair needs that extra added protein. But I think it's best to like separate it, in my opinion, like have a certain wash day that's dedicated to protein, and then have a certain wash day that's dedicated to a deep conditioning treatment. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you how you want to do it. You know, Curly Chemistry 101, always do what works best for you. But you can definitely try it, you know, and see how your hair responds to it. But usually I like to separate them out. I heard that saw palmetto and mixed with others from Nutrafol supplements can cause liver issues and issues with blood work, leading to false positives or false negatives with thyroid blood tests. Thoughts? That's a good question. I've seen that a lot with oh, excuse me, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot with like biotin, for example. So one thing I always tell people is number one, definitely always consult with your physician when it comes to like supplements and whatnot. Especially when it comes to, you know, if you do have a history of like thyroid issues and or other deficiencies. So at the end of the day, I think it is best to consult with your physician. But I have heard that before, how certain vitamins can cause, you know, issues when it comes to blood work, especially tied to like thyroid issues for sure and biotin. So at the end of the day, I would definitely consult with your physician before taking any supplement. So great question. How do you use the Pacifica Scalp Love Serum? That you just use it like how the instructions say on the bottle. So apply that to your scalp, massage it in. You can rinse it off if you want to, or you can leave it in. And I would use it as needed. So if you're going throughout your week and you notice your hair is kind of, oh, excuse me, your scalp is kind of dry or itchy, you can go ahead and apply that serum to your scalp. Great question. All right, I'm going to pause for a second and read the room. Has this been helpful so far? I'm going to sip on some water, but let me know if this has been helpful. I can't even talk. Helpful. Put a 1 in the chat if this has been helpful for you. Yes, thank you, Anaya. Ones. Okay, that's a good sign. Perfect. All right, so we will keep going. Thank you guys again for the likes. What time is it? 7:42. Okay, we're gonna do some more questions. I might cut it a little short tonight, so if I don't answer everyone's question, I will be back next Thursday on Instagram. Next week is Instagram. All right, let's see. Can I use rosemary and argan oil together? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. So, argan oil is a very beautiful, rich carrier oil, right? So, mixing that with a few drops of rosemary can be very beneficial. So, the argan oil is going to help to support the scalp barrier, which once again helps to reduce dryness within the scalp. And then you have the rosemary in that formulation that's going to help to support hair growth. So, together, that's beautiful. Like, very super simple hair oil, argan oil and rosemary. And if you want to like add a little bit of like antioxidant support to it, I would add a few drops of vitamin E. Great question. Do 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 do. Let's see. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, sorry. Hold on one second. I'm trying to do something on the back end here. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's see. What's your opinion on the Sacred brand, Beyonce's hair care brand? So I think the formulas are good. I've actually looked at a lot of their ingredients and whatnot for their products. No red flags. I think the science is there, especially for her edge drop. She has, once again, those peptide treatments I was telling you guys about that help to reactivate dormant follicles. So I think the brand is good. You know, once again, no red flags. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in trying out like her product, I would probably start with, well, I would start with the basics, maybe like her shampoo conditioner, and then go from there to see if you like the products. But I think the brand is pretty solid. You made me go back to hair grease, and it's been amazing for my 4C low porosity hair. Thanks. You're welcome, Sandra. I'm so glad that your hair is loving hair grease. I love it too. Let's see. Is it possible to dye your hair and still retain length, growth, and keep it healthy? That's a great question, because a lot of times when we do color our hair, it can weaken the hair, it can dry it out tremendously. So I always tell people, like, when you are doing like a coloring treatment, a chemical service, or even like um getting heat done, like a silk press done, like do a good protein treatment prior to, so your hair is strong enough for that treatment. That I highly recommend. And then also, after you dye your hair, be mindful of maintaining hydration within the hair. So deep conditioning treatments, hydrating shampoos, making sure you're keeping up with your moisture cycle in between your wash day. All of that plays a role. I think the issue comes in where people just focus on the style part of things, like coloring their hair, dyeing their hair, and they forget about the maintenance of the hair. So as long as you don't forget about the maintenance, that's going to be key. But definitely that protein treatment prior to will be a lot of times a game changer when it comes to your hair after the color service. So, and once again, that can be Olaplex K18, Apogee, Joico K-Pack. That's also a great brand as well for like protein and strengthening treatments. Great question. I'm trying to find questions I haven't like talked about today. Hmm. Hmm. What can I use? What can I use to herbs to aid? Oh, okay. Maybe you're asking what kind of herbs can you use to aid in hair growth? I have a spot in my crown where my hair has broken off. That's a great question. So if you're trying to create like a hair growth oil using herbs, for example, I would definitely use peppermint. I would use rosemary. I would use eucalyptus. I would also probably use what is it called? Nettle. A lot of people don't use nettle, but nettle is also great for increasing the hair growth cycle. So I would definitely use nettle, and you can use these herbs in like a oil and just let it sit. And like jojoba oil, ideally, I'm going to say jojoba oil for sure. Very lightweight oil, great for the scalp, especially for like serum type formulations. And let these herbs sit in this jar. A lot of women like who create herbal oils at home, they let them sit for like weeks, sometimes months. If you want to do it that long, it's up to you. But you can definitely do that. Or you can get the essential oils. So all the herbs I just mentioned, get the essential oil version of that, and then apply that to the jojoba oil, and that can be a quick way to do that as well. So you can go the herbal route or the essential oil route. Either option is fine. Great question. Are you familiar with Revere's Detox Pre-Wash Rinse? Let's look it up. Revere Detox Pre-Wash Rinse. Let's see what's in here. Well, it's definitely on sale right now for $9. So if you want to try it, now is the time to try it because it's only $9. Okay, let's see. Ingredients. So the first ingredient is water. So this is a water-based product. What else you have in here? You got some glycerin, you got polyquat 10, which is going to help with like slippage, which is great. We love that. There's a little bit of ACV in here. That's great for your scalp. Menthol is in here too for like soothing the scalp, that nice like refreshing feel on the scalp. What else? There's polyquat 7 to soften the hair, centramonium chloride to soften the hair. You got some hydrolyzed proteins in here too. Got some biotin in here, mushroom extract, which is an adaptogen that helps to reduce stress-related hair loss. I mean, this looks good. I mean, I would definitely try this product. I'm curious to see how you use it. Apply generously to wet or dry hair, massaging it in to help remove product buildup. Okay. For fresh hair, rinse thoroughly. Repeat as needed for revitalized scalp and hair. Okay. Yeah. So yes, to answer your question, the ingredients look good. I mean, I don't see anything here that's like don't do that or don't use it. but I think it looks really good. I like the fact that it has ACV in here because that's going to help to break up any like buildup on the scalp even before the shampoo touches your scalp, you know? So I think that's awesome that that's in there. All right, let's see. Lizzie says, hey, Tanya, how do you know if your shampoo has DHT blockers and why is this necessary? Great question. So as I mentioned before, DHT blockers help to reduce hormonal hair loss, right? So they help to take the hair out of the telogen phase, which is like the shedding phase, and put it back into the anagen phase, the active hair growth phase. Why? Now, as far as like how to know if your shampoo has it, a lot of times brands will market that because that's a claim that most brands would want to actually advertise, right? So brands are going to say this product helps. Well, actually, let me say it. I mean, I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because DHT on a bottle, like DHT blocker on a bottle, is more of a drug claim, which involves the FDA. So most brands are not going to say that because they want to protect their brand and protect their assets. So they're not going to say that. At least smart brands are not going to say that. I'll just say this. Look for the ingredients. The most common DHT blockers are going to be saw palmetto, pumpkin seed, for example, like the ones that we talk about here all the time. So if you see that in a shampoo, that's a good sign. If you see it way at the bottom, more than likely it's in there at a very, very low amount. That's the downside of it. But that's what I would look for if I was looking for a shampoo that had like DHT blockers within it. Great question. Great question. All right, let's see. Is there such a thing as using too much K18 or using it too often? Absolutely. There's such a thing as using anything. Like I can use too much moisturizer on my hair and now I have moisture overload. So the same thing with K18, you know, using that maybe every single day, maybe too much on the hair, that can lead to what do you call it? Protein overload, you know, which can actually end up breaking the hair off if the hair is too rigid, you know, if there's not enough elasticity within the hair itself. So anything can be overdone. Absolutely. Great question. Great question. Is jojoba hair grease good to lock in moisture? Can you also use on your scalp? Jojoba hair grease. So like, I'm assuming this is petrolatum, like hair grease mixed with jojoba oil. If that's the case, that can be a great way to lock in moisture for sure. Excuse me, because both of them are sealants, especially that hair grease is an occlusive ingredient. So absolutely for moisture retention. And then can you use it on your scalp? Together, yes, you can. But once again, anything with like hair grease, oil, make sure you're applying it to a clean scalp, not with like a ton of buildup or dirt on the scalp, because it's going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. But to answer your question, jojoba hair grease actually sounds so good right now. Jojoba hair grease. You can definitely use that for sure on your hair and your scalp. Great question. Greetings from London. Hey, London, how are you? My kinky hair is growing out, but I'm struggling for retention. Ends are getting, literally getting, okay, knotted and breaking. Okay. So you have a very tight curl pattern. I'm going to assume you have 4C hair. It's growing, but you're struggling to retain your length. Your ends are breaking off. And a lot of times, 90% of the time, that is a moisture issue. So you may, I don't know what moisturizer you're currently using, but you may need to use a different type of moisturizer if it's not moisturizing your hair like it should, you know? If you are using a moisturizer that actually is good, but you're still not retaining length, you may need to increase the frequency of how often you use that moisturizer, you know? So I always talk about how we all have a moisture cycle, and the cycle determines how often we need to re-moisturize our hair. Curly chemistry community, you guys already know this, right? So you may need to moisturize your hair every 2 days, every day, every 3 days, whatever that cycle is, your hair will let you know. So that's the first thing I would say. And then the next thing I would say is you may need a stronger sealant. So the moisturizer can actually be great, but it's evaporating a lot quicker than it should. It's leaving your hair a lot quicker than it should. So we want that moisture to maintain and retain in the cuticle and the cortex. So you may need to try hair grease. And the reason why I'm saying hair grease, because hair grease is a heavier sealant. When you compare jojoba to hair grease is going to lock in way more moisture than jojoba because of the texture of hair grease, right? So if I were you, sis, I would definitely increase your moisturizing routine. Make sure that moisturizer is a water-based cream. You have tight curls, right? You didn't say you have fine hair, so I'm assuming you have like thick, tight curls. You need a water-based cream. And then you want to pair that with hair grease as the next step. So I would do this. I would start off doing this maybe every 2 days. Every 2 days, and monitor how your hair feels. Within the next week or two, you should see a difference. You should see less breakage in the sink, and more length retention over time. Okay, so I would highly recommend you try that and keep me posted on how that works for you. Great question. All right, what time is it? Okay, I'm trying to do good on time tonight. I'm trying. Let's do a few more questions. If you asked me something like way early in the chat and I didn't get to it, go ahead and put it in the chat now. Because I'm scanning for most recent questions now. All right, Marcia says, do you think it's necessary to go to a salon for a hair trim? Whenever I've gone to someone claiming to be a natural hair specialist, my hair always ends up worse. I know my hair and they don't. Listen, Marcia, and I love you said that. I love that you said that because you know your hair, right? And I feel like I might get some heat for this, but I think stylists are great. I think stylists play an important role in this whole textured hair care space, right? However, at the end of the day, you should know your hair because God forbid, your stylist goes to a different country, your stylist decides I'm gonna, move to London and start a jewelry business. You need to know your hair. So the fact that you said that you know your hair and they don't, that says enough. Going for a trim in some cases, you can benefit from that, but you can learn how to do your own trims at home, sis. Like there's so much content, there's so much you can learn here on YouTube alone, right? Like how to do your own trims, how to buy the right pair of shears, so you're not getting any like crappy scissors, you know what I'm saying? So if I were you, especially if you have gone to stylists and it's like your hair is getting worse every time you go to one, I would just say, you know what? I know my hair. I'm gonna figure this out myself. I'm gonna figure out how to do my own trims, and you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's anything wrong in that. So to answer your question, do you think it's necessary to go to a salon for a hair trim? I don't think it's always necessary. If you can learn how to do it, do it. Just make sure you get the right pair of shears because sometimes the wrong pair of shears can actually do more damage than good. But learn that thing here on YouTube and, do that, own that. So go for it. Absolutely. Great question. What did I miss? A little bit of everything, but it's fine. You can watch the replay. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Can frequent brushing of edges cause permanent traction alopecia, even if it was done with a softer wave brush? It can, depending on how hard you're, doing that. But if you're just brushing your edges in a gentle way, you're fine. But if you are kind of being real rough with it, then that can definitely cause some issues for sure. So just be careful, just be gentle when you're using your brush on your edges, and ideally have some type of like product on your edges. That can be a moisturizer, an oil, something to kind of soften the tension between the brush and your actual hair. So I would put like a little bit of oil or something and just brush it that way. You know, like that's what I would do to kind of, once again, reduce that friction. Great question. All right, let's see. What are your thoughts on henna versus bonding treatments and protein treatments? So protein treatments and bonding treatments are pretty similar. Like they are designed to strengthen the hair, restore the hair. Bonding treatments have peptides, so peptides tend to go a little bit more deeper within the hair. Henna necessarily isn't a protein, but what it does is it helps to fill in missing pieces within the cuticle. So it's kind of creating like a temporary sealant along the cuticle where there may be like fractures or cracks along the cuticle. So think of it like a roof, like shingles on a roof, right? And you may have like missing patches on the roof. Henna comes in to fill in those patches and pieces, which kind of gives you the illusion of stronger hair. So that's how I would say the differences are. But I will be honest, if I had heat damage, if I had color damage, if I had a perm and I got relaxer damage, I'm not going for henna. I'm going for either a protein treatment with hydrolyzed proteins or a bonding treatment with peptides. That's what I would do. All right, next question. What grease/sebum product would you recommend for pressing hair or silk pressing to prevent dryness? I think it's called Isoplus. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's called Isoplus. Silk press oil is in a white jar. A lot of people love that product for like pressing their hair. So I would look into that. Isoplus silk press oil or pressing oil, one of those two. All right, let's see, next question. Do you have hair/scalp massage videos? Will you develop some? I can, yeah. I mean, I've done videos talking about scalp massage, but I don't think I've done one solely on this is how you massage your scalp. I've done clips within videos teaching about them, but not like a dedicated video. So I can definitely talk about that for sure. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, let's see. Someone asked earlier if there are any publications on scalp microbiome. I think she meant medical publications. Plus, I want to know if there are any recent ones, not old ones. Yeah, so absolutely. So the whole space of like scalp care and scalp microbiome, the industry is really like talking more about this because forever it's been about the hair, right? But now, and I love it, people and brands, industry leaders are talking more about the biology of the scalp and the environment, the microbiome of the scalp. So there are some research papers out here. There's not like a ton compared to like hair care, but they're out here. They're absolutely out here. One of the benefits, and there are some public journals, but to be honest, a lot of the professional journals, like new things, you are going to get being in the industry. So for example, because I'm a cosmetic chemist, I have access to journals and publications that are tied to the Society of Cosmetic Chemists that won't really be publicized to the public, right? But there are some journals out here like to a public setting, just not a ton compared to what I have access to in the industry. But I love the fact that, you know, scalp care is trending and I hope it doesn't decline. I hope that it continues to drive traffic in this space because there should be more research, especially on our scalp. You know, like, is there a difference between, you know, Caucasian scalp care versus ethnic, you know, scalp care? Like, is there a difference biology wise, you know? So I'm curious. So hopefully more research gets put into this space because it's absolutely needed for sure. Great question. Uh-oh, wait a minute. That herbal tea rinse of yours will definitely give you less shedding. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Blessed to have Aiden. Thank you, thank you. And it's so funny you mentioned that because when I created that tea blend, I was very precise about the herbs that I chose. Like to me, if I'm formulating a product, it has to perform and it has to make sense, you know? So the green tea that I have in the tea rinse is not normal green tea. The green tea in there is called sencha. And sencha green tea has a ton of um, epigallocatechin gallate, and that is a organic compound that helps to reduce shedding and increase the anagen cycle, the active hair growth cycle. So I was very cognizant of the type of herbs that I put in that tea rinse. So I'm glad that you're seeing less shedding. That makes me happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see. And for those who are interested, the link to the tea rinse is below in the description box. All right, let's see. Is there a key to get hair products in bulk or for cheaper than overpriced market value? I want to invest in a chunk all at once. I mean, I don't know, girl. I don't know. I mean, or guy, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but is there a key to get hair products in bulk? I mean, you can always look into wholesale, right? So think about brands who are into like your local beauty supply store. You know what I'm saying? Like they do wholesale with local beauty supply stores. So you can always reach out to a certain brand and say like, hey, do you guys offer wholesale pricing or bulk pricing? But a lot of times they want you to have an established business where you're selling their products, you know? So that's just my little spiel on it. Maybe there's more to that. I don't know, but in most cases, you know, you have to have some type of a business to do wholesale or a salon, for example. You know, so something to think about. Any info about your product line? Yeah. So what can I say? So we just completed. So for those who may or may not know, because I haven't been talking a ton about it because I'm trying to like wait in a sense. But for those who may or may not know, I am coming out with my own hair care line. The tea rinse was the first product, and now we have a few more getting ready to come out very, very soon. We just finished our pilot batch, which pretty much means that we're making sure that on a smaller scale, what it looks like versus the larger scale, like when we go to actually make it in bulk or when we go to make it at a larger scale. So we're making sure that is it good here so it can be good here, if that makes sense. So we just did that. We should be in manufacturing like at the larger scale very soon. So we are making moves and we are crossing off the checklist. So more to come, more to come. I haven't released exactly what I'm coming out with as of yet, but it's coming. So stay tuned for that. And I'm so excited. So excited. You guys are excited too. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I'm excited. It's going to be so good. So good. So yeah, more to come. More to come. All right. Next question. Let's see. First time here, would like to know about good hot air brush that won't damage my natural curly hair. Want to wear it straight without the massive heat damage. I don't have a recommendation for a hot air brush. The only one I used before was the Revlon that's out there. I think Tymo has another good one too, but you know, depending on the heat setting that you place it at, depending if you're using a heat protectant, that matters too. For me, I'm a Rivera girl. I just hands down, me and Rivera were like this. So that's what I recommend. But if you don't want to use a Rivera, you know, then I would look into the Tymo or the Revlon, but make sure you don't use the highest heat setting and make sure that you are using a heat protectant as well. Great question. Okay, let's see. What time is it? 8:09. Okay. Let's get off at 8:30. Let's do 8:30. Let's see. More to come. Yes. More to come. I'm excited. So excited. And I'm definitely gonna like take you guys behind the scenes as well, like once I get closer to like launching officially. So stay tuned for that. All right, I answered that. I saw a video that said if you use coconut oil, coffee, and lemon to get rid of gray hair. What do you think about that? I can't see the lemon because lemon will actually lighten the hair. So that's kind of counteracts that DIY formula right there. I will say though, for gray hair, of course, it's tied to aging, but it can also be stress induced as well. So even if you are using this DIY thing, if you are stressed out, the gray hair is going to come back anyway. So, or if it's genetics or aging, it's going to come back anyway. So, or I will say this too, you could be deficient in a B vitamin. I think it's B12. I think it's B12. I forget the one. But a lot of times just, taking care of that deficiency, if you are deficient in that, that can take away gray hairs right there. But a lot of women actually use henna, the henna from, what is that brand? The Henna Souk, SOOQ. She has like a brown henna, a red henna. I think she also has like a dark brown and a black henna that can dye your hair from gray to that specific color. So I would do more of that than the coconut oil, coffee, lemon, because that lemon is throwing me off, because lemon is going to brighten the hair. It's not going to get rid of it, in my opinion. So I wouldn't. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Adrian says, what causes hair to change colors? Mine has spots of light brown and red. Then some strands are turning gray. Yeah. So the gray hair, once again, it can be age, it could be stress, it could be genetics, it could be a deficiency. As far as like the multiple colors in your hair, that can just be like how your hair is, So depending on the melanin distribution within the cortex of the hair, that will determine your hair color. You know what I'm saying? So the uniqueness of your melanin distribution is giving you light brown with a hint of red, which is actually sounds really pretty too. So it's all genetics. It's all like tied to your biology, like within your body. But the gray hair, once again, aging, stress, genetics, or that B vitamin deficiency. Exactly. If you don't know your hair, okay, that was a comment. Is Briogeo a good protein? Which product? Because Briogeo is a brand. What shampoo conditioner would you recommend for fine, low porosity, shoulder length hair? I've tried a lot of different products, shampoo and conditioner. And you have low porosity hair, I would probably go for the Design Essentials Honey Cream shampoo and conditioner. It's going to give you the moisture that your low porosity hair needs without it weighing your hair down, because your hair is fine. So I would look into that. Design Essentials Honey Cream shampoo and conditioner. Great question. Is the petroleum and Vaseline and hair grease the same? I've been told Vaseline was bad for you. Vaseline is amazing. Is it the same petrolatum? Yes, it is the same. As far as like if it's bad for you, no. Petrolatum is actually one of the few FDA approved, how can I say it? Occlusive emollients for reducing dryness within the hair and the scalp, the hair, scalp, and the skin as well. So in my opinion, Vaseline is not bad for you, or petrolatum is not bad for you. It only becomes bad, once again, if you are applying it to dirty hair, dirty scalp, build up on the scalp, then it becomes bad. But Vaseline in itself is not a bad product or ingredient. It's non-comedogenic. A lot of people think that it clogs the pores of the scalp, but it doesn't do that. It's non-comedogenic, so it doesn't have the ability to do that. However, once again, if you already have layers of dead skin cells, sweat, dirt, product buildup, then you put hair grease on top of that, or Vaseline on top of that. You can't just call out the Vaseline and the hair grease without dealing with the other things underneath it, if that makes sense. So that's my little spiel. The science is there. The science backs up Vaseline, petrolatum, hair grease, but people are also going to also like believe what they want to believe too. So that's just the nature of being in this space. I say do what works best for you. Okay. All I know is this: when I get out the shower and I put like some oil or a little bit of Vaseline on my skin feels amazing. Like the next day, my skin feels so soft and supple because Vaseline is keeping that moisture in the skin, in the hair, or hair grease in the hair, you know? So, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, sis, you gotta do what works best for you. But I don't see it as a red flag at all. At all. What do you think of the Ordinary Multi-Peptide Hair Serum? I think that's a really good serum. Once again, this is a water-based serum. It has peptides within it that's going to help to support hair growth, activate dormant hair follicles, and increase that anagen phase. Of course, the results matter, you know, with any type of product that you use. But as far as the formula goes, I think it's a really good formula, especially with those peptides in it. I need that tea. Yes, sis, get the tea, get the tea, get the tea. How often should we use the tea? That's a great question because the tea is so diverse. You can use it on your wash days. You can use it every day as like a leave-in spritz for your hair, like for moisture. And you can also drink it too. So it's up to you, however you want to use it. And I kept that in mind too when I was designing that tea blend. Like I wanted to be something that didn't have like strict rules to it where you got to do it this way and that's it. No, it has multiple ways that you can use it as a moisturizer, as a rinse on your wash day, and also to drink it as well. So yeah, great question. All right, let's see. Here we go. Do you have an opinion on Briogio's Scalp Revival line for scalp dermatitis? Let's Google it. I struggle with itchiness in between wash days, and I'm looking for something to lessen the itchiness. Okay, so is this line for seborrheic dermatitis, or you're asking if it is good for seborrheic dermatitis? Let's see if we can find it. Scalp Revival line. Let's see. Here we go. Scalp. Okay. Okay, so they have quite a few products in this line. I'll say this. The dandruff relief shampoo looks very promising because they have salicylic acid at 3%. That is a BHA, a beta hydroxy acid. So it helps like remove any like buildup within the follicle. And a lot of times that can also help reduce dandruff as well. And a lot of times too, the core foundation of seborrheic dermatitis starts from dandruff. So you're kind of getting it at the root. They also have the serum too. So let's look at the serum. Where's the formula? I mean, the ingredients. Okay. Oh, okay. So it has charcoal in it. Charcoal helps to remove any impurities and buildup. Tea tree to soothe itchiness. So that's also great for you, sis. Ooh, they have witch hazel. So witch hazel is the second ingredient. So I think if I was to get anything out of the Scalp Revival line would be the serum for sure. And then that detox shampoo that they have, like in a little nozzle bottle, I would get those two. I mean, you can look at the other ones in the line too, but those two, I would definitely get my hands on those for sure. Absolutely. Okay, what time is it? Okay, we got maybe like 10 more minutes. Good testers for hair pH, scalp pH, etc., so that we don't throw all of these treatments at our hair if we don't need them. So good testers for hair pH and scalp pH, like you're trying to test the pH of your hair or the pH of the product. Is that what you're referring to? Because I'll say this, and maybe there is a way to test the pH of the hair and the scalp while it's still on your head. Maybe there is, but I will say this, a lot of times what people do is they test the pH of the product. So I have people or know people who actually have pH strips, and they test the shampoo or they'll test the conditioner before it even touches their hair, especially if the brand doesn't disclose what the pH of that product is. So you can use pH strips to test the formulas if you want to, but I'll say this: pH, rising of the pH of the scalp or imbalance will be pretty evident. A lot of times, if not all the time, dandruff is a telltale sign that the pH of your scalp is off, right? Getting a relaxer without using a neutralizing shampoo will definitely be a telltale sign that your scalp and your hair is off, right? But the majority of products today, your shampoo, your conditioner, detox treatments, moisturizers, leave-ins, they are within a very specific tight pH range, right? And I'm just speaking for those who are actually formulating their products correctly. They're staying within that 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6 range. They're not formulating at a pH of 8 or 10 or 11, unless you're getting a relaxer. They're not formulating at a pH of 1, which would be insane. You know what I'm saying? So they're staying within a tight range. But if you want to like test the product out yourself, you can always get pH strips. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's good for underbags? Girl, if you find out, let me know. Okay. But I would say anything with caffeine, like the caffeine serum, can be very helpful. The Ordinary has a caffeine eye serum that has pretty good reviews, so I would check them out. But typically caffeine based serums are good for like under eye bags. But if you find something, let me know, because my under eyes, I mean, they're not so bad now because I have makeup over them, but taking my makeup off, you know, they can be more prominent. So if you see something, blessed to have Aiden, keep me posted, let me know. Your thoughts on botano oil? Botano oil is great for locking in moisture. It's great for length retention, but it doesn't directly cause hair growth. That's my little spiel on botano oil, but it's good for softening the hair. It's great as a sealant for locking in moisture, but that's pretty much it, in my opinion. I have dry, coarse hair, and especially during the winter, nothing I put in my hair moisturizes it. I do the LOC method, but my hair sheds like crazy and still feels dry. Can you recommend a good moisturizer? Great question. So is your hair shedding or is it breaking? Because if it's shedding, you're going to see long pieces of hair. If it's breaking, you're going to see small little fragments, like little pieces of your hair. If you're seeing small fragments, then it's definitely breakage, and it's usually tied to dryness. Your hair is shedding like crazy. So once again, if it's shedding, then that's a different story. But we're talking dryness here, so it may be just breakage, especially if it's short pieces of hair. You may need a stronger moisturizer. So you're doing LOC. Oh, wait a minute. You're doing LOC. Do LCO instead. Don't do LOC. I don't recommend LOC, y'all. People do it. I don't recommend LOC. Do LCO, liquid cream oil. That oil needs to be the very last step that you do to lock that moisture in. Liquid is the first hydrating layer. Cream is the second hydrating layer, right? Oil locks in all of the layers. So LOC or LCG, liquid cream grease. So my first thing to use is don't do LOC, do LCO. That alone will help you probably like that, okay? But LCO or LCG if you want to try a grease. And then, like I said, that should help, because the order matters. You can have a bomb moisturizer, but if you're using it the wrong way, you're not going to see the benefits that you're looking for. So try that and let me know how that works for you. All right, next question. You're welcome. Wait. Yeah, that's so much. I wasn't sure how to narrow it down. I usually use the Salon Essentials, but it affected my hands. I got eczema personally. Thank you so much. You're welcome. To test the pH of my hair, not the pH of my product. You know, I don't. That's a good question. Let me see. Let's see. interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you. So this is testing the pH of your hair scalp involves pH test strips. So still use the testing strips. The easiest method is to saturate your hair with distilled water, which you can get anywhere. Then apply the strip directly to the damp hair or by testing the runoff water. Ah, that's interesting. But then my question is, how accurate is it? But apparently, sis, there's a way to do it. Okay. So damp your hair, take that strip, apply the strip to your hair, and then read it. How accurate that would be, I don't know. Versus doing it in a laboratory setting, you know, you'll probably get better results. But for at-home results, try that with the pH strips. All right, let's see. Next question. Hi, Cece. I have high porosity hair. Followed your tips with scalp massage and jojoba. Bald spot quickly grew. Woohoo! We love that. Having a hard time with moisture retention, hair tapers at the end. Am I doing something wrong? So the good thing is the scalp massages are working. So keep that up. We love that. That's awesome. As far as like moisture retention, in NYC Apple, it could be, once again, it could be the moisturizer that you're using, may need a different one. It could be you're doing it in the wrong way. Once again, instead of LOC, do LCO. And then the third thing is it could be the frequency. So how often are you moisturizing your hair? You know, how often are you moisturizing and sealing your hair? Are you doing it every other day? Are you doing it once a week? So it could be one of those three things. Excuse me, it could be one of those three things. And then I would also increase your deep conditioning as well as also a quick tip for like improving moisture retention within the hair as well. So that's what I would say. I would start there. I would start there. The order of how you're moisturizing your hair, how often you're moisturizing your hair, and the product. It could be the product. So one of those three. Great question. Great question. Okay, guys, we are almost done. We are almost done. Thoughts on Tarsome Relief Shampoo? Let's see if I can find the ingredients. Itchy dry shampoo relief. What's in here? That's the question. Where's the ingredients? I may have to start asking y'all to put the ingredients in the chat because I can't find it. I can't find the ingredients, sis. If you can put them in the chat, I'll be happy to share my my opinion on it. But right now I'm not seeing it. Product description. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, unfortunately. Unless this is it here. Water, coal tar is what they're using to help reduce dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis. What are the reviews like? They have sodium lauryl sulfate. It might be kind of drying to the hair though. So I'll say this. So based off of what it looks like, and I'm not too familiar with coal tar. When I think about coal, I'm thinking that it does help to kind of detox the scalp, similar to charcoal, but I'm not understanding the connection between coal and dandruff. Like that's the part that I'm kind of perplexed about. Now I'm curious. Active ingredient slows the rapid growth of skin cells on the scalp, reducing scaling and plaque buildup. Oh, okay, so it does have salicylic acid. Okay, that's great. Okay, I mean, this looks interesting. Now that I understand, like actually seeing the ingredient list and the science behind it, this looks really interesting. So to answer your question, sis, I mean, I think it looks really good. I like the fact that they're using coal tar at 10% in the formula to slow the rapid growth of skin cells. Because a lot of times when you think about seborrheic dermatitis and psoriasis, um, and in some cases dandruff, you have this fast growing skin cells that's creating this buildup and layer of just flakes. So with this formula having 10% of the coal tar, it helps to reduce the skin cell proliferation, so you're seeing less flakes on the scalp. And then you have salicylic acid in the formula that's getting out any buildup that's been trapped inside the follicle. So it makes sense. It makes sense. So I mean, based off of that, I would definitely try it. Apparently a lot of dermatologists recommend it, so that's also a great sign too. Great question. How to preserve your tea as a daily leave-in? That's a great question. So I found that when I put the tea in like a spray bottle, I can actually leave it in the fridge for like up to like a week or so, like maybe like a week and a half. Like that's the max. But I'll say this too, a lot of women are using it or preserving it in like ice cubes and like thawing it out. So you can definitely do that. But to be honest, like I recommend keeping it in the fridge, like to keep it fresh, or freezing it in like little ice cubes and thawing it out if you want to do it that way. Some people actually leave it out like in room temperature, but they only do that for maybe like 4 or 5 days max. So if you don't want to put it in the refrigerator, you want it to like have it like ready for use, like on hand, keep it inside the spray bottle. But I would say leave it up to 5 days if you're going to leave it out in room temperature. And I've done that before and it's been fine. So you have different options there, but the best way in my opinion is the fridge. But like I said, you do leave it out, let it be out no longer than 5 days. All right, let's see. Can you recommend a conditioner with slip to detangle the hair? I would try. There's so many to choose. Okay, I would say the almond butter conditioner by Design Essentials. That one's been in my shower for a while, and I do like that one. So Design Essentials, I think it's almond butter hair mask or conditioner. I think it's a conditioner. That one I do recommend. Thanks. I'll try the LC or LCG. How often do you recommend to use method? I would Tanya, we have the same name. I love that. I would say maybe like once every 2 days and see how your hair feels. Or let's say you do this method tonight, right? Today's what? Thursday. See how your hair feels by Saturday, right? If Saturday comes and your hair still feels pretty good and not dry, you can prolong it to another day. See how your hair feels Sunday. Maybe by Sunday, you're like, okay, I need to re-moisturize my hair, then re-moisturize your hair. And the good thing about that is that will let you know what your moisture cycle is. So if you don't have to moisturize your hair till Sunday, then that means you have a 3-day moisture cycle. So every 3 days, redo this LCO method. So that's what I would do. Great question. Can I do the green tea reconstructor, then the apogee, then Design Essentials, or is this too much? Which apogee, Lizzie? Are we talking about the pro vitamin leave-in conditioner or the protein treatment? I'm assuming you're talking about leave-in, because the green tea reconstructor is a leave-in treatment, something you would do like after you wash your hair. Some people do it like in between their wash days, but usually it's like a leave-in conditioner type of product. What are your thoughts on Chebby for hair growth? I mean, I'll say this. So for me, there's not a ton of research backing the efficacy of Chebby powder. So that's where more research needs to take place, in my opinion. But because of the mineral makeup of Chebby powder, I can see how it could potentially support hair growth. I just haven't seen the science yet. So I don't feel comfortable saying, oh yeah, this is what it is, what it does, because I haven't seen it. So hopefully there'll be more like research tied to it, so I can get like a better opinion on it. But yeah, more to come. We'll see. We'll see. But as of right now, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that it supports hair growth. Great question though. Yes, thank you for the likes. Let's see. I use it straight out of my fridge. That's fine too. Listen, you can definitely use a tea straight out of your fridge. That works too. A good sulfate-free shampoo for low porosity, thick, dense hair. A low porosity, thick, dense hair. Good sulfate-free shampoo for low porosity, thick, dense hair. My hair is staying dry, and I feel like it may be from sulfate shampoo, or maybe not. I can't seem to figure it out. Yeah, so thick, dense hair, low porosity. Once again, the Design Essentials honey cream shampoo, or the what is it called? The As I Am Long and Luxe shampoo. That one's really good too. So I would say those two. Design Essentials honey cream and the As I Am Long and Luxe shampoo. You got it, Isabel. Isabel. Sorry if I butchered your name, sis. Quick thoughts on any or all Eco Slay products. Eco Slay is giving Eco Styler vibes. Let's see. I think it's just a name that's reminding me of Eco Styler. Let's see. Oh, I like their packaging. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's look at their banana cream deep conditioner that has really good ratings on it. Let's see. Banana cream. That sounds so good, by the way. I'm hungry. Ooh, okra extract. Okay, so you're getting a lot of slip. That's great. Behindra monethyl sulfate, awesome conditioner, lots of softness, hair softness, smoothing the cuticles. Avocado oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, a lot of rich oils. So yeah, I mean, this looks really good. Look very hydrating, very moisturizing. I would definitely try this. This what was it? Buttercream deep conditioner. It's really good. You didn't say if I could use all three as leave-in: green tea, apogee, and Design Essential. Which Design Essential, Lizzie? Which one? I need specifics, sis. Are we talking about Design Essential gel, cream, mousse? Like, what are we talking about? But definitely the green tea and apogee leave-in can be great together. Yes, absolutely. I actually use the apogee green tea reconstructor and the Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner every wash day. I use those together. I've heard that S-Curl activator can be used as a leave-in. What are your thoughts? Absolutely. S-Curl is very hydrating. Very, very hydrating, because I think they have, like, I think the second ingredient is glycerin. Last time I checked. I don't know if they changed the formula or not, but glycerin, I think, is a very second ingredient. So very hydrating formula. Absolutely. Especially for like braid. If you wear like braids a lot, that can be a great way to hydrate your hair while it's in a protective style like braids. I relaxed or damaged my hair and I did onion scrub and it grew back. Onion scrub? Sis, you gotta tell us, Lotus, like, what's an onion scrub, sis? We gotta know. You gotta tell us what an onion, because I'm thinking you cutting an onion up, like half of it, and you going like this. Like, is that what we're doing? Like, is that where we are? Tell me, what is an onion scrub? I'm so curious. I'm so curious. I need to wash my hair so bad. It just feels so, I don't know. Y'all can't feel it, but it's like, it just feels very product-y. A lot of product going on here. But yeah, I digress. This side is always more fluffier than this side. All right, Lotus, where are you, sis? I'm waiting on Lotus. Like, I need to know about this onion scrub. In the meantime, while she's telling us about the onion scrub. What would you recommend as another sealant other than grease or oil? Butter, mango butter, shea butter, kapaasu butter. Yeah, just a little bit. Very, 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 very light. Just a little bit. She said, my son's hair, it feels greasy and heavy when it's time to re-moisturize. How often do you shampoo his hair? How often do you shampoo his hair? Because if his hair is feeling greasy and heavy when it's time to re-moisturize, either the product you're using is too heavy, the moisturizer is just too heavy for his hair, or you may need to increase his wash day. So he may need a weekly wash day or a different moisturizer. Hello, Nashville, Tennessee. How are you? Simone Davis 98. Sis, you're asking me all the products tonight. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. She was like, what is EcoSlay? What is the other thing? Why? I'm not mad at it at all. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've seen this brand before. I didn't know they make hair care products though. I thought they just did like skincare. What is it? Frenchie? Let's see. Hair. Here we go. Let's look at the shampoo. I like their packaging. They got 4 stars on Target. That's okay. Specifications. Where's the ingredient list? Sodium C14 olefin sulfonate, coke betaine. Those are great cleansing surfactants, not harsh on the scalp at all. That's a great sign. Guar hydroxypropyltrimonium chloride, that is a cationic conditioner in the shampoo. That's also a great sign. Polyclot 7, super amazing for shampoo, softens the hair, great sign. What else is in here? Hyaluronic acid, a great humectant, very powerful, moisturizing, great sign. Their fragrances in here are essential oils. I like that. They have cedarwood, bergamot, mandarin, ylang-ylang oil. Yeah, natural fragrances. We love that. So yes, the Frenchie shampoo looks really good. Design Essentials Daily Moisturizing Lotion is extremely moisturizing and lightweight. I have to try that. I tried so many moisturizers on his hair. I've used on his recipe, melanin, TGIN, juices and botanicals, Blue Magic, Dax Light, Camille Rose, and As I Am. What else would you recommend? So it comes down to, it may not be the moisturizers. Like if they're not working for him, right? Now what I'm thinking is, why aren't these moisturizers penetrating into the hair? Now I'm thinking, does he need a clarifying shampoo to reset his hair? You know what I'm saying? How often do you shampoo his hair? How often do you do that? What kind of shampoo are you using? Are you using a co-wash? When's the last time you clarified his hair? Because if you're using all these products on his hair, he may have buildup to the point that no matter what you put on his hair, it's not receiving it. Instead, you're creating a layer after layer after layer. So you may need to clarify his hair. You may need to increase his wash day, especially if the moisturizers you're using are not like doing what they need to do. You may need to, like I said, reset his hair completely. And typically that looks like a clarifying treatment, clarifying shampoo for his hair. After that, then I would revisit the LOC method. The LCO method for his hair. Liquid cream oil. I would probably do Apogee Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner as the first layer. And then okay, I would do, and I hope you're writing notes, sis. I would do an experiment. 1/2 LO, the other half LCO. This half, I would do Apogee Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner with sweet almond oil on this side. On the other side, I would do the same thing, but the cream would be a lightweight cream, because apparently his hair is not doing well with like heavier butter. So I would do a lightweight one, like Curls Blueberry Bliss leave-in conditioner, or one of the ones you have already, just so you're not buying more product. But that's what I would do. But the first thing I would do is do a clarifying shampoo. So if there's any buildup, you're getting rid of that instantly, and then start over. LO and then LCO. And then whatever side feels better the next day, go with that method, because that experiment helps you know which moisturizing method is best for your son's hair. That's what I would do. And I hope that helps. You can always sign up for one-on-one hair care coaching call with me, where I can like sit down with you one-on-one and even see your son's hair and like really give some precise custom recommendations. So that's also an option too. Great question. Have you tried TGIM products before? Yes, I love their shampoo, love their leave-in, love their hair mask. Are there any pros on using sud-free shampoo? Sud-free shampoo? I mean, technically no. Lather is great, but lather doesn't always equal clean. In my opinion, lather is more of a consumer thing, because as customers, we like to see the lather. Lather associates with cleanliness and like my hair is being clean. But in my opinion, it's more of an aesthetic. It's more of more of a look thing versus an actual functional thing. So to answer your question, I think sud-free is fine if you want that. Either one is fine. It's not going to make a difference, if that makes sense. Do you recommend the 10-in-1 intense hair mask? Dove actually makes really good hair care products. So yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the ingredient list, but Dove alone, surprisingly, makes really good hair care products. All right, let's do maybe 2 more questions, and we're going to go ahead and hop off. All right, let's see. I'm looking at the Dove hair mask. Good stuff. Good stuff. The third ingredient is benzimonium chloride. That's a cationic conditioning surfactant. Detangles, like the slip is going to be great. It's going to smooth the cuticle. It's going to soften the hair. There's also like a silicone copolymer in there. So you're going to get slip. You're going to get shine. Ease of combing with this hair mask. And what else? There's lactic acid in here. So you're getting a good pH balanced product, which will be great for the hair. So far, I mean, this Dove 10-in-1 does sound good. So I do recommend it. All right, let's see. Have you tried the Curlsmith Bond Curl Rehab Salve? I haven't tried it, but I've heard good things about it. Heard really good things about it. All right, let's see. I'm trying to find someone who hasn't asked tonight. Anyone who haven't asked a question tonight. And if not, that's okay. I can still answer. It's already here. Is it okay to use a hair wax stick to control edges and frizzies? If so, which brand do you recommend? I don't have a hair wax stick that I personally recommend, but it is a great way to control your edges and frizz for sure. Because sometimes I use my edge control, like the one I use, and I just kind of take it and like apply it to like the top of my hair, which kind of frizzes up sometimes. So that's completely fine. Yes, I need to go and eat. I need to go and eat. Yes, absolutely. Well, I look forward to it, sis. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off before it's 10 o'clock or something. Hope you guys found this helpful. And of course, every live is different. You just never know what we're going to talk about. But I hope you guys found this helpful. For those who just joined in, I'm going to save this live and keep the replay up. And that's what I'm going to do. You're welcome. And what else is going on? Oh, we're going live next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be back here the following Thursday on YouTube. So for those who may or may not know, I go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week was YouTube. Next week will be Instagram. So if you want to join me next week, you know where to find me. Okay. All right, gang. I love y'all so much. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me. Thank you again for all the amazing likes. I hope you guys learned something new. Even if you just learned one thing tonight, that was more than enough for me. So I'm happy you guys are learning and growing. Do a good scalp massage tonight before you go to bed, like a little, 60-second scalp massage. If you're trying to target hair growth at the edges, do a little targeting, a little yum, yum, yum there. Okay. Be good to your hair. If you got to detangle tonight, work from the ends, work your way up. What else I want to leave y'all with? Take your vitamins. Drink lots of water. Okay. All right. I love y'all because I'm going to keep talking. Bye. See you next time.